All right, so now we're on to the colored pencil skill builder, and you're going to need some colored pencils, a paper towel, and a pencil sharpener. The first box asks for stippling, and stippling as dots. So within the boxes, I'd like you to try to create different values. So with stippling, the closer the dots are, the darker the value. And the dots can even touch and overlap. And then as you lighten the value, your dots get further apart. So little tiny dots starting close together for the dark value, touching and overlapping, and then they'll gradually get further apart to create a lighter value. And this is going to take you a little bit of time, so you're going to want to put forth your best effort so that you can pass this skill builder and move on to the next one. So eventually you have free choice within each of the studios. So now I'm going to look at it, and this is going to be my lighter value where the dots are farther away, and I'm going to start to add more and more dots where I want it to get darker. Alright, and so I think that's a pretty good example of value with stippling, going from light to dark. My dots are further away, they get a little bit closer, and closest still. So now we go move into hatch marks. Hatch marks are just short lines. The closer they are together, the darker your value. So essentially I'm doing the same thing that I did here. My lines are further away with lots of space between them, and as I get closer over to the right side, the lines get closer together to make a darker value. And I made all my lines going the same direction. I like to kind of draw them diagonal. It's comfortable for my hand. Okay, and then we have cross hatch marks, which is where the lines cross over each other. So you're going to do the same thing. And then scumbling. Scumbling, instead of it being straight lines or dots, is more of like a curl, almost a curlicue line. And I want you to also try to create value just by overlapping. And you can see each one of these boxes goes from light to dark. Alright, and then I can create a value scale using color pencil, very similar to our value scale with crayon. So you're going to color the same direction, filling in the box, starting light and gradually just getting darker as you get closer to the right hand side. Now this isn't good enough. This is really light, and then starts to get dark. So I need to even that out. I need to make this darker, and I can just keep layering the color pencil, putting more color pencil on top of more color pencil to get this value darker. Alright, and once you get to the bottom of your colored pencil skill builder, you're going to shade in using the primary colors to create the value and illusion of form. So these are flat 2D shapes that we're going to add shading like you see in the example over here using the primary colors. So you're going to use blue, yellow, and red, the three primary colors, to shade in these forms. And I'm going to skip yellow because yellow is going to be hard for you to see. But you can see we have a cone, sphere, cube, and cylinder, cone, sphere, cube, and cylinder. And you want to use these same shading directions of lines on your finished piece. So when you're shading a cone, you're going to do curved lines. They're going to curve back and forth. It shouldn't look like a zigzag. And then the further back, it's going to be darker, and you're going to add some more pressure closer to the edge of the cone to create the illusion of value. And then you can even stretch this out to make it a little bit lighter and go from dark to light, trying to show that this is a curved illusion of form like you see here in the directions. So the next one, the sphere, I find the sphere the hardest one. It's really, you're kind of just doing like an oval or a circle. And that's how you're shading. You're drawing these curved lines. So I draw kind of a highlighted area like you see here with my with a light color pencil, and then I come through and I just add more and more lines very lightly. I'm not pressing hard yet. Just by adding more and more lines darkens the value up. And then as I get closer to the edge, like you see here, then I'm going to add more pressure, pressing down on the color pencil to make a darker value of this color. And then I lighten my pressure so I get a medium value, and then eventually to the highlighted area. Also in the example it shows a shadow. You can add the shadow, but I won't count it against you if you don't add the shadow that's sitting on the surface that the form is sitting on. Then when you do the cube, the left side of the cube is darkest value, so you can just come in and just color that in nice and neat, no scribbly lines pressing hard. And a cube surface is straight, so those lines and the shading will be straight. So this is more of a medium value. So I'm going straight back and forth, filling this in nice and neat without scribbles. And then the top of it is the lightest value, so I'm going to color lightly, and then making sure that this is dark, medium, and light. If this doesn't seem very medium, I can go back and add some more color. Alright, and then remember we're doing primary colors. This should be done in yellow, but I'm afraid if I do it in yellow, you're not going to be able to see. So you're going to be following this. There is some shading along the edge here. It's okay with me if you don't include that. You just make sure you include the darkest value along the edge, like we did here for the cone. Then a medium value, curved lines again. Can you see that? Yeah, I guess you can. So this is medium curved, and then light value curved, and you probably can't see that light value on there, but you can see the dark. And so just try to follow this, making sure you use each of the primary colors. So there's 3 primary colors but 4 forms, so obviously you're going to use the same primary color on 2 of the forms. It doesn't matter to me which 2. Neatness does matter, so trying to stay within that shape. I bumped out of the shape just a smidge here, bumped out of the shape a smidge here and here, but for the most part I'm in the shape. So neatness matters. This is difficult. These forms, trying to make them look like that is difficult, so take your time. Do not rush this part, because I will make you fix any of the things that are sloppy, and you need to see a clear light, medium, and dark on each one. Light, medium, and dark, light, medium, and dark, light, medium, and dark. And that's how you complete your colored pencil skill builder page.